Hello, righteous. Welcome to day 80 of 365 Days of the Righteous, your daily dose of righteousness consciousness. My name is Goke Ode. Psalms 92, verses 12 to 15. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing, to declare that the Lord is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Hallelujah. We invested the last 3 days in verse 12. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. To get a broader understanding of what it means to flourish like a palm tree and grow like the cedar of Lebanon, please, I will recommend that you review the last 3 days. The text in the Amplified Version gives a very good summary, and I'll read it. The uncompromisingly righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, be long-lived, stately, upright, useful, and fruitful. They shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, majestic, stable, durable, and incorruptible. Planted in the house of the Lord, they shall flourish in the courts of our God. Growing in grace, they shall still bring forth fruit in old age. They shall be full of sap, of spiritual vitality, and rich in the verdure of trust, love, and contentment. They are living memorials to show that the Lord is upright and faithful to his promises. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Now, just as it is true naturally that plants have conditions that are best for their growth and fruitfulness, there is a condition or environment that the righteous need to plant themselves to flourish and thrive. Those who are planted in the house of God shall flourish in the courts of our God. People may enjoy the fruits of a tree in different parts of the world, but that tree must remain where it is planted to thrive and produce more fruits. We will look at 2 applications of being planted in the house of the Lord. The first one is to be vitally connected with the Lord, taking roots downward in him as we cultivate intimacy with him in worship, prayer, and the study of his word, and then bearing fruits upward. John 15, verses 4 to 8 in New Living Translation clearly explains this. Remain in me and I will remain in you, for a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me, and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. Now, every part of a tree has its role, but a tree is as healthy as its roots. Many plants store their nutrients in their roots. The root absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. We all know that a branch can only produce fruits if it is connected to the tree. And no matter how much fruitful, no matter how faithful a branch is, once you disconnect it from the tree, it loses its capacity to flourish or produce fruit because it's only a few days from withering and dying. Colossians 2:19 speaks of Jesus as the head, from whom the entire body, nourished and knit together by joints and ligaments, grows with an increase that is from God. The Passion Translation reads, "But we receive directly from him, and his life supplies vitality into every part of his body, through the joining ligaments, connecting us all as one. He is the divine head who guides his body and causes it to grow by the supernatural power of God. To flourish, that is to bloom, to blossom, to grow upward and produce fruits, we must remain planted in Jesus. We must remain planted in Jesus himself, who is the head of his body, and from whom the whole body is nourished. Let's say this together. I am the righteous. I flourish like a palm tree. I grow like a cedar in Lebanon. I am planted in the house of God. I flourish in the courts of our God. Hallelujah. I want to thank you for joining me for today's edition of 365 Days of the Righteous. I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow. Remain vitally connected in Jesus.